when you do co-design, it's not one approach fits all necessarily. You kind of have to think about how you modulate your approach depending on who you're engaging with. And then in terms of redefining impact, so I think it's one step to definitely state kind of an intention to want to take an equity-centered approach and how that kind of fits into the work you're doing. I think, though, it's important at the same time to make sure you build in accountability into that intention, so that can guide you through the process. So if you're kind of starting to say, okay, we want to make sure we engage with a diverse group of perspectives, we want to engage those with lived experiences, we want to create a particular kind of environment for those engagements.
There is a fatigue that comes from that kind of consultation, and there's a way in which it's often a conscripted unpaid labor from people who are already exhausted from talking about the same things and having to explain their experience. So I wonder how we mitigate that if the process is to be iterative. And I think it has to be iterative. It has to be, you get to a midpoint and you realize that your assumptions were really wrong, or the policy is only as good as the people who are excluded from it. So it needs to be revisited.
You can't just be extracting from people their perspectives all the time. How are you acknowledging that the value that that's bringing to the work and the value that they're contributing in that kind of exchange of information, so it doesn't feel like you're just extracting all the time. And sometimes, like you said, it can be very fatiguing, and depending on the context, it can just be kind of a bit re-traumatizing as well. So I think there's got to be different ways of how we compensate for that exchange, and sometimes it's monetary and sometimes it could be other things.